Here are some guidelines on what to look for when choosing your evidence. Both the master and the practitioner designation require that the candidate submit one or more testimonials. The guidelines used by the evaluators in determining if these are fit for purpose are the following. Firstly, the testimonial must be signed by somebody who is senior to the candidate, or if you're an independent SDF, a client. Secondly, it must confirm, in the opinion of this person, that the candidate is competent against at least 75% of the designation competencies. It's very unlikely that the person giving your testimonial will comment on that unless you guide them as to what should be included in your testimonial. So we strongly recommend that you give some guideline notes to whoever is giving your testimonial as to what they should comment on. And then lastly, for the skills development master, the recommendation must be from at least 2 senior people. And the focus must be about a contributed impact in an organization at a national or international level. Looking for evidence to use in your portfolio, it's worth repeating a couple of the guidelines you might have heard from other videos. Firstly, you need to be providing examples from your own working experience that show your competence. And so you're looking for things that show you're able to apply learning on a practical level. This is obviously different from a qualification, which focuses largely on theoretical learning. The designation, as you know, asks you to look at your working experience and find examples from there. In a sense, this evidence is what is used to give you some sort of a stamp of approval that confirms that you know what you're doing. And it's a way, in fact, of reducing risk for your client or for your organization. The evidence most often presented to the evaluators includes the following. Firstly, seat approval letters for the mandatory grant reports, documents created by the candidate, but they must include your name or some confirmation by your manager of your role. For example, things like presentations, articles, reports, and proposals. Thirdly, we often see minutes of meetings and attendance registers that include the name of the candidate. Could also include email correspondence from the candidate, either to or from the candidate, that spell out the role played by the candidate. Often includes testimonials or letters of reference from managers. Often includes also progress reports. We recommend that you do not submit the following sorts of documents as your evidence. First 6 are of a general nature, and they don't relate specifically to you as the candidate. So, for example, copies of government gazettes, acts or regulations, circulars, practice notes and memos, organizational policies, and so on. None of those refer specifically to the work done by the candidate. Number 4 is irrelevant plans, budgets, and reports in which you did not personally carry out any tasks. Emails or correspondence that do not mention your name anywhere. Attendance registers of meetings you did not attend. These sorts of documents just fill out the evidence and don't actually add anything to the evidence and will be ignored by your evaluator. Lastly, and very importantly, make sure that nothing that you submit includes personal information of others as defined by the POPI Act. If there is evidence that you want to submit that contains this sort of sensitive information, please redact that information so that it's not visible. As someone with experience in skills development, you are probably familiar with the VARCS requirements for evidence. Essentially, what the VARCS requirements are is that the evidence must be valid, must be authentic, must be reliable and current, and sufficient to meet the designation competency requirements. You'll find further explanation of what VARCS means in the guidelines document.